Hello YouTube. I'm in my home. It's a beautiful Wednesday night. I just got done coaching. And for some reason I wanted to make a video about how to save money so you can go to as many tournaments as possible. So that's what this is. Alright, step 1. Eat soup. It's very cheap. I have a bunch of soup. I drink soup all the time. I mean eat. I guess it's kind of drink. It's more like a juice if you think about it. Well, it was a bad pot. This thing's broken. Anyway, it's very cheap. It's like $1, maybe $1.50 for a meal. It's very good. The average meal is about $3.50 or $4 depending on who you ask. So $1.50 is quite cheap. Although soup is not the only cheap food that you can be eating to save money to go to as many tournaments as possible. But soup, it's really good for dinner. You know, doesn't give you too much unhealthy stuff. So when you sleep, you don't have all that crappy stuff sitting in your gut. You know, go soup. Expanding on the food thing. Eat eggs, because they're also pretty cheap. This is like $3.50 for 12 of them, like 2 in the morning. So what is that? $3.50 divided by like 12 is about the same thing as divided by 10. It's like 35 cents an egg ish, or like 30 cents, something like that, maybe 35 including taxes. So 70 cents for 2 eggs in the morning. It's very good to start your day with eggs, right? You want to eat animal products and proteins and fats and stuff in the morning rather than in the evening, because, well, unless you're trying to put on weight. But I'm still making soup because you just pack on that weight if you do it at night, because at night your body goes into this state where you're basically fasting. So if you eat before you go to sleep, you don't enter that phase for as long, or you don't enter it at all. But if you're trying to lose weight, you do want to enter that phase. So anyway, this is a little bit off topic, but if you don't want to gain weight, eat more soup and eat less before bed. Or not at all. See, a lot of people do this thing where they do like intermittent fasting, so they eat dinner kind of earlier on, then don't have a snack, and then just go to sleep and sleep for like 8-9 hours, then wake up, then they don't eat for a little bit after they wake up, maybe like 2 hours, and basically they end up fasting for like at least a good 14 hours. So if you're trying to lose weight, that's a really good way to go about it. And then when you do eat, you just don't gorge yourself. Basically, you can get yourself at a calorie deficit of like, you know, you can be eating about 1,000, maybe 1,500 calories every day like that. Really easy, good way to cut weight. It's the opposite of what I'm doing. I'm eating first thing in the morning and first thing before I go to bed. Anyway, this is not about bodybuilding or losing weight, but I just thought I'd share that all with you. Another big one is Clif Bars. These things really do give you sustained energy. They taste good. They're about $1 each, and they feel like almost a meal. Like, I'll eat one of these instead of a meal sometimes, and I don't have to stop. Like, I don't have to prepare any food, right? I can just keep working and eat this while I'm working. So it saves a lot of time. So it's the benefit is twofold, right? Because you're saving money because you're pretty much eating this instead of a meal, which is fine. That's not bad. And then you're working more, you know, so you're making more money to go to tournaments and stuff. So get these, especially if you go to college or go to classes or whatever. Really good to eat one of these during the day instead of going to the cafeteria or something and spending too much money on food. Drink water. I was gonna make kind of makes a loud noise. Anyway, I'm redoing this. Drink water. Just drink so much water. Don't drink other stuff. Just drink water. See that? That's mine. But it's still there because I never drink it. Because I don't drink that garbage. I don't put that stuff in my body. Just drink water. I also drink orange juice in the morning because I think that vitamin C is real good. People get sick all the time. And I don't get sick all the time because I drink orange juice a lot. Vitamin C. But yeah, that'll save you a ton of money. If you guys drink soda, you know, coffee, energy drinks, any of that garbage, don't do that. Drink water. Coffee's not that bad actually, but it can take up a lot of money, especially if you go to Starbucks. That's it. Okay? Don't go to Starbucks. Don't go to McDonald's. Don't go to none of these places Taco Bell is the only one I can endorse. You can get a good meal that'll really fill you up. You can eat like like 900 calories off of spending like literally $3 at Taco Bell. So I know this sounds weird, but I actually would suggest going to Taco Bell if you're going to try and save money with your diet and stuff. Last thing I want to mention on the food topic is Soylent. If you get it in bulk, it's about $2.50 a bottle. It is a full meal. Maybe a little bit less than a full meal, but you don't have to spend time preparing it. You just have it, you start drinking it, so you can continue working. Same idea as the Cliff Bar pretty much, but it's got more nutrition in it, got other stuff, so that you don't get deficient in anything, so yeah. Next up, don't be playing no video games. Bad. Don't do any of these, okay? Here's the thing. Video games are addicting, and they're time-consuming, and they don't get you anywhere. You play video games for 2 hours, you accomplish nothing. You test for 2 hours, maybe that's the reason you won a round at a regionals, and maybe that's the reason why you made more money at the tournament, because you made it into day 2 instead of flopping. So, don't play video games unless you're doing that instead of, spending money on sushi or something, you know what I mean? Because, you're saving money if you play video games technically, because otherwise you'd be spending them, on something else. So that's the only rationale I have for playing video games. I play video games like twice a week. I shouldn't even do it at all, but don't do it. There's a cat in my room. You guys got to understand that saving money is saving time too. It's not two different things. It's the same thing, because every minute you spend working or testing, because I know a lot of people can't just work more if they want more. Like, if you have DoorDash, if you use DoorDash to make money, or use Uber, you can just work as much as you want, technically. So it, literally is every minute that you spend on doing something other than working is you're losing money, right? But for somebody who only works a set amount of hours at their job, or something like that, they don't have a way to make more money when they have more free time. So for those people, you guys need to test, because like I was just saying, every minute you spend testing, it gives you a higher chance of making day 2 at the regionals, which means you have a higher chance of making money. And if you win the event, you make like $5,000. So it's like, people don't realize how important testing is. I love testing. It's the best. Don't you like playing Pokemon? Just play against yourself. Think you got nobody to play against? Just build 2 decks, play against yourself. It's great. Take notes so you can think about what cards to take in, take out of your deck list. I don't know why I'm going on about this, but basically I'm just saying that the efficiency is very important if you're trying to save money and go to more tournaments. Next tip, be selective with your flights. Don't be that person that's just like, I got money, I'm throwing it at this tournament because I want to go. I know it's a week from now and the flight's $1,000. Don't do that. Bad. If you're in that position, look at the flights for the next event. You want to buy flights about 45 days before the flight is happening. So be very strategic with when you buy your flights and which ones you buy. I got one for St. Louis that I think is only about $250 right now. It's pretty good because I live in California and flight prices in California are ridiculous. And I'm flying pretty much across the country, so that's actually a good price. So I might go for that, even though the tournament is actually only like 3 weeks away, so that's kind of weird that it's actually that price. But might go for that. Not sure. You also got to be selective because you got to understand how much you've actually tested, right? Because that's the only thing that's really holding me back right now, is I feel like I haven't tested a ton. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to test before the tournament, so I'm like, I don't know. It might be a better decision to just save that money for a different tournament. So be very strategic about which flights, which tournaments you actually do go on. Next tip, don't buy new clothes. Don't buy new anything. Don't buy anything, just go to tournaments and play Pokemon. That's all that matters. Alright, but in all seriousness, if you got a pair of shoes, they still work. Just keep wearing them. Don't spend $60 on a new pair of shoes. If you live in the Midwest, you can get a flight for like $100 or $150 a lot of the time. Buy a pair of shoes, shirt, and pants. That's a whole flight, depending on how much you're paying. I like to get quality, so that's what I end up paying a lot of the time for that kind of thing. So all I'm saying is, remember that every purchase you make means that it's contributing to another tournament that you're not going to if you have a restricted budget. If you just got tons of money, then you don't have to worry about it at all. But if you're anything like me, you got to think about that stuff and be really responsible with your money, Because Pokemon's the best. Next tip is sleep enough. People don't sleep enough, man. They really don't. People be like, I got 6 hours of sleep, that's enough. No, it's not. There's a high correlation between people dying early and not getting enough sleep consistently. So, how are you going to go to tournaments when you're dead? Can't do that. You're dead. Be chilling in heaven or something. So, make sure you sleep enough, okay? And honestly, you're not as productive if you don't sleep enough, too. Like, you're like, I saved 2 hours by sleeping only 6 hours. I'm more productive. But the thing is, you're not as productive as you would be if you got enough sleep. You can't compensate with that, through caffeine a whole lot. You're spending money on coffee. You're probably going to Starbucks. It's not worth it. Just sleep enough. Get up on time. Go to bed on time. Don't, excuse me, don't drink caffeine too late in the day so that you can sleep at night. Don't eat too late at night. Makes it harder to sleep as well. Unless you just eat a bunch of carbs. That's what I like doing sometimes. Sometimes I just make a big bowl of pasta and I just eat that whole bowl and then I go into a coma and I fall asleep. That's kind of nice. So maybe do eat before you go to sleep. I don't know. Whatever. Depends what you're going for. But overall, sleep is very important. You got to sleep consistently at the same time, okay? Don't be that person that goes to bed at different times, wakes up at different times. If you can avoid it, it's really healthy to get on a sleep schedule. That's how humans are made, to be on a sleep schedule. And you don't want to sleep 6 hours 3 nights a week and then like 10 hours 4 nights a week. You want to sleep 8 every night. 8 hours. That's what you need. 8 hours. Final tip, subscribe to CuttersHab.com. That seems silly to a lot of you. You're like, what? Why would I pay $15 a month for this content? But it's really good stuff. A lot of people are really successful with a lot of my lists. Coach a lot of people. Give a lot of my friends lists. A lot of my friends have been very successful with my lists. I've had friends that have won regionals with my decks before. Connor Peterson got second place at Worlds in 20... Sorry about that. I was propping this camera up on my microphone. And I'm trying it again. Probably going to fall over again. I'll just hold it. So, just saying. Pay $15 a month, right? If only one of those lists is good, which is totally not the case. All my lists are busted. But if only one of those lists is good and you use it, and it's the reason you make day 2 at a regionals, you make $250, that's worth it. You made money on that exchange. So, just saying. A lot of people do not realize how helpful it actually is to have a subscription to an article site, especially when the writer just posts all of the decks and ideas he has on there every time he comes up with something. I don't hide anything from you guys. There's no secret play that I don't post on there. The only time I ever don't post something on Cutter Tap is because it's a friend of mine's idea, and I cannot break that trust and post their idea. Everything that I think of goes on the site, and it's been like that for like 2 years. It's true. I have a good track record. You can trust me. A lot of people do. And so do that.